Okay, solve using substitution. I will do 4, and then you're going to do the 4 on the back on your own. I'm going to get a piece of colored scratch paper. Yeah, I'm doing it from the teacher's lounge here today because my room is like cold. I think the heat doesn't work. So first off, you have to do is you're finding where the lines cross, but you're not going to graph. Substitution means you're looking for one letter by itself. It could be X or it could be Y. Doesn't matter which one. It doesn't have to be the Y like it is when you graph. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, I'll make my wall here. I'll use the blue to make the wall, okay? And this side of the wall, there's not a letter by itself, and on the other side, it's just a number. This right there is my letter, okay? There you are. So base, and this is what it equals. Now write the other equation, just copy it down. Now one thing when you copy, make sure you put numbers in front of X and Y. They already have them, but if they don't, you're going to put ones. So negative 2x plus 5y equals 19. So my base variable is y. So I'm going to you always parenthesize whatever's your base, y. Sometimes it's x, but this one is y. So then I scribble y out, and up above it I put what it equals, which is 3x minus 4. So we have negative 2x plus 5. Parentheses, and in that parentheses we now put 3x minus 4 equals 19. Now, I only see x's here, so I'll be finding x first and y second. Because now I have x's. So I distribute, okay? Remember, that's a plus negative 4 when you distribute. 5 is positive. Okay, so 5 times 3x, so I need to put x first, and then I take 5 times 3. That's going to be 15, okay? We can cross him out, but we still got to take 5 times negative 4. There's not going to be an x, because it's two numbers without x, plus negative 20. Okay? Cross that out, and don't forget to add your negative 2x in there. Okay? So when I'm looking at this equation, the x's are on the same side. When I have two letters on the same side, I make a V connection. And we add those, okay? So I add my x's. I go 15 plus negative 2, just like that, 13x. Then I got my plus negative 20. Now, get rid of your negative 20. You have to add it, okay? That's 39, so 13 times x, 13x equals 39. And then at the last step, I just divide. And x equals 3. Remember, x is first. Now when I'm solving for y, use the equation that has the y by itself, okay? Because that's going to be the easiest. You can use the other equation, but it's a whole lot easier to use. Since we're searching for y, we go with the one where y is by itself. Because we have our answer for x. We know x is 3. So we have 3 times 3 minus 4. And that's 5. Okay. All right, x equals y plus 3, 2x plus 4y equals 18. So again, the same idea. Searching for a base, okay? There's an x by itself, that works, okay? Remember, x works just as well as y. It's not like graphing, okay? So I go 2x plus 4y equals 18. So now that I know that I have base x, I'm going to actually replace the x with what it equals, which is y plus 3. So I've got 2 parentheses y plus 3, and then after that you got to add 4y to the equation equals 18. Now we distribute. Remember, that's a 1. So I distribute twice. So the first one, y comes first in the parentheses, so I write that down. I take 2 times 1, that's 2. Then I got to take 2 times 3, that would be 6. Then I plus 4y equals my 18. Okay, remember, if the y's are on one side of the equals, you just add them. You don't balance it out by minus, minus, plus, plus. You just add them as you see them. So 2y plus 4y is 6y plus 6. Then I minus my 6 which gives me 12. Then I divide by my 6, and that's y, so you're finding y first this time and x second. Y is 2, okay? Now if I'm getting x, I want to use where the x is by itself, so this equation here. Because remember, I don't have the x yet, I'm still searching for it, so we use the one where it's by itself, because I can just replace my y with the answer I found, 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, easy one there. 5, 2. Go over a couple more here. Okay, the next couple we're going to be using our scratch paper. I think there's one you have to use it on the assignment. Okay, so I look here. No, there's not one letter by itself. On the other side's a number. No, that's... Okay, so we don't have a letter by itself. Pick one of the equations, doesn't matter which one. Okay, yesterday I didn't do a good job of pointing that out. Okay, so y plus 2x equals negative 1. Now pick one of the letters to circle, it doesn't matter which one. Okay, I would circle the y because at least that doesn't have a number connected to the front. Okay, so you got to get rid of what's outside, minus 2x. You put a 0x and you minus 2x there. So that gives me y. I won't have to divide because it doesn't have anything in front of it. So I do my x's, 0 minus 2x is negative 2x, and then plus negative 1. So let's get rid of this one I wrote down. This is the one I wrote down, and replace it with y equals negative 2x plus negative 1. And now I have a base. I can use y as my base variable. So let's write the other equation down. Now when you're writing it down, you got, remember what I told you. Make sure each letter has a number in front. So when I write y minus 3x equals negative 16, I need to make sure that the y has a 1. Okay? When I'm doing this part, I want both x and y to have numbers in front. So that goes over here. So I'm using this as my base. Okay? So let's replace the y. The y is the one that's got to go. Okay. And up above it we put negative 2x plus negative 1, just like that. Okay. So you got 1 parentheses, and in that you put negative 2x plus negative 1. Then after that you have minus 3x equals negative 16. Now we're solving for x first because that's what I have here. Y second. So I distribute, it's going to be negative 2x. 1 times negative 2x is, that's gone. Then I take 1 times negative 1, that's negative 1, and that whole thing's gone. You got to remember to minus 3x equals negative 16. Now we want to add these together. Now when I'm adding, make sure it's negative 2x plus negative 3x, okay? They both are negative. Negative 5x plus negative 1. Okay. Now get that by itself. You got a negative 1, so you'd add 1. Okay, so negative 16 plus 1 is giving me negative 15. Then I'll divide by negative 5, and that takes us to our answer, x equals 3. Okay. Now to get your y, use the one where the y is by itself right here. Okay, x is 3 because we have the y by itself. So I take negative 2 times 3 plus negative 1. And that gives me negative 7. If you get a decimal, it's okay. Just round it, okay? Don't just quit and say I don't get it because you get decimals, okay? Okay, x, y. Okay, pick an equation. It doesn't matter which one, okay? It really does not matter which one. We'll go with the top one. We'll cross that one out, okay? So I got negative 1x plus y equals negative 13. Remember, the point of doing that is so I can write a new equation off that where I have a letter by itself. So again, I think using the y would work because it doesn't have a letter number in front of it, so I wouldn't have to divide. I just circle it. Plus 1x put a plus 0x, and I can now plus 1x to that. So it's plus y, so I can just put y if it has a plus. 0x plus 1x is 1x, and then I have plus negative 13. So just write that down. Y equals 1x plus negative 13. So right here is where you have a letter by itself. Y again is going to be my base. That's what it equals. Okay, so write the other equation. Both x and y have a number in front, so that's good news. Y is my base, so up above y you put 1x plus negative 13. Okay. Yeah, this is going to work out one of those messed up ones yesterday. Okay. I'll keep doing it, but yeah. Okay. So negative 1, or yeah. So I got negative 1. So I got 3x plus negative 1. Parentheses, and in that parentheses I put 1x plus negative 13 equals 19. Okay, so distribute. Okay. So first I got the x, so I write x down. I take negative 1 times 1. That's negative 1. Then I take negative 1 times negative 13. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive, and 1 times 13 is 13. Now you can get rid of the rest of it, but you still got to add your 3x. Actually, this does work out good. Never mind, I don't know what I was talking about. Okay, it's going to work out nicely. Okay, so I make my v, and that tells me I need to add the numbers with the x. 2x plus 13. Okay, then I minus 13. Minus 13, that's 6, so 2x equals 6. Divide by 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's your x right there. You got to pay attention to what letter that is. Okay, now to get your y, use the one where the y is by itself. Y equals 1x plus negative 3. So I know y is solved for. It's a matter of plugging the 3 in for the x. Okay, so I have 1 times 3 plus negative 3, and I got 0. Okay. Okay, not bad. If you have any questions, let me know. You got 4 to